All right, I'm not going to lie, everyone. I kind of feel like we got robbed today on our earnings trades. It was looking really good. A couple little things happened, and even though we still made money today, it was not as much as I think we were supposed to make. So, first part of this video, as usual, I'm just going to go over how the last couple days have gone, and then we'll chat about some of the trades we're looking at for today after market close, and then we'll wrap up this video with a little lesson that I learned this morning about trading earnings events in the morning that I really want to share with you, that I think will be really valuable for everyone who's just kind of getting into the strategy now. So we'll go over that at the end. But first up, let's talk about the trades over the last couple days. So here we are back in the trade journal. Right, I think these are the ones that we're going to look at together. Yeah, so overall it was okay. I think we're pretty much flat on the week, maybe down like slightly. We had a couple losers out of everything, and those unfortunately just kind of dragged us down. CDNS and CZR were, they kind of sucked. Not that bad, but they were also like a little bit bigger stocks. So even though it's not necessarily like a super huge loss in terms of like the percentages, it does eat away at our returns because one strangle or one straddle on CDNS is the same as like 3 on Pfizer. So that's why, even though, as a percentage, CDNS is just a 40% loss, it's $180, and that eats away at our returns. So one thing that I'm going to be starting to do moving forward is trying to balance the size of everything as much as I can. So, even in the last trade here, you'll notice with CZR, unfortunately another loser, but we did have 3 lots of this one on. And it was sort of to bring it in line with the size of like FSLR, which was another trade we had. Maybe like try to bring everything into like around a dollar to $1.50 in premium. I think that might be a decent way to start balancing things. But yeah, overall, look, even though we're pretty much flat on the week, we are up overall this earnings season. When I talk about these returns, I really just want to give you full transparency into how things are playing out. I'm not worried about any of this, to be honest. It's not like we're getting destroyed. It's not like we have huge winners right now. What we're seeing is a pretty normal distribution of like what an earnings book might look like. I'm literally just going to keep doing what we're doing. We've only been doing this for 2 weeks. We've got a lot of time left in this season. I still expect things to play out really well because regardless of what happens on an individual trade, the premium's still there, right? That's what we've observed over 20 years of earnings. I don't expect that to change. And so we just kind of keep plugging away at it. With that being said, let's take a look at some of the trades that are coming up today. If those go well, then we'll, be picking up more returns, right? We're in a great spot right now. Let's take a look. Come over here. Let's go to the scanner. By the way, everyone, if you haven't given feedback yet on what you want to see for the earnings dashboard, please do drop that in the Google form I shared in the Discord community. I really appreciate that feedback, and it will directly impact the features that we build for everyone. So especially the folks who are either new to earnings and are finding that they're doing some sort of like mental gymnastics to figure things out that we could build, or the guys who've been trading it for a long time and can see things that can really enhance the platform, please leave comments in that form. We are going to build them. Thank you. All right, earnings. Let's see what's up. I'm doing my favorite sort here, earnings short straddle. We got Coinbase today, super liquid, 7.48% move. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, this looks good. Geez, max move of 26%. That is, it's seen it before. It's seen some big moves. So it's possible, right? So we're gonna have to stress this one pretty big. It is a $200 stock, so we'll want to keep that in mind. Even with that average move, or that max move being at 26%, the return on average straddle is like still huge. So we're gonna take it. we're doing it, but you should expect that this could get volatile. So we got to stress the move with that in mind. All right, cool. Looks pretty good. That's one in the book. We'll take a look here. Just a couple others. FND 1.8K volume, a little bit on the lower side, might not make the cut for us. Once again, the P&L looks really good. 8.63% versus 4.55, 15% average straddle return, 13% max move. All of this looks really good. It's happening tonight after the close. I'll definitely be taking these if they have the weekly options. If they have the monthlies, we'll chat about it in the group, but that could dissuade me from taking it. The range of moves in this quarter is pretty tight. Cool with that. One thing we're going to be adding soon, by the way, is the putting the implied move on this, so we can see or the average implied move, so we can see where it is. But just a quick look here. Let's see. The average implied move for this is probably around 7%. So we're on a little bit of the higher end of what the implied moves tend to be. I don't mind that at all. Looks pretty good. Today, a pretty small move, so no realized vol for us to be too concerned about. If we take a look here, let's go non-event. About 24 points, 25 points of vol expected to disappear today from the short-dated expirations. Forward factors up really, really high. So you could maybe even do a calendar spread here. I've never really messed around with the calendars too much around earnings events, but for the guys that do, probably looks pretty good. Let's just take a look at one more here maybe. Let's take a look at Robinhood. It's always a fun one. Max move at 14%. Back test looks good. 10% implied move. 8% average move. So this thing's going to move, right? There's basically no denying that we will see some vol here. This is one that I kind of like the look of because, even if we stress this to a 20% move, with the implied move being 10%, if you sell an at the money straddle, that's a 1-to-1 risk reward. That's pretty good. With it being a $28 stock as well, even though this could get volatile, you can control your risk a lot more on this, right? It's not like the other one we were just looking at where it's a $200 stock. So, this is a lot more manageable. So I would definitely be slapping this one on as well. No doubts this would be included in the earnings book for today. And truthfully, there's way too many tickers we can look at today, right? There's 250 trades we could take today. That's gross. That's way too many. What is happening? So I'm actually just thinking about it live with you. I'm probably going to be pretty picky with the ones I take, just because we have so many options today. So we'll take a bunch of trades. Probably not going to do coin. Probably take a bunch of stuff in the $20 to $60 price range. Try to size them all the same and get lots of bets on. It's probably the approach that we're going to take. But if you've got a big account, you want to slap on a bunch of stuff around the same size as a $200 ticker, you could size everything up to around the size of Coinbase and let that ride. That could be really cool too. All right, let's just take a look at this little lesson here. I took 2 screenshots today from the portfolio we're trading together. This is the first one where we look like we're down $220. This was first thing in the morning. FSLR, CZR, right? You can see those there kind of getting smoked. Obviously, some of that is also driven by we were taking a bit of a drawdown on one of our ETF plays. Then you fast forward, I don't know, what was it, 10 minutes later? And look at this. All of a sudden, we're up $200. And what was the situation here, right? So with this trade, the way you can think about it is everything was actually still within our implied moves, and everything was expiring, on November 1st, so on Friday. But right in the morning, things did have a pretty big move, right? So remember, we're trading the strangles here. So it was close to the implied move. The realized move was similar to the implied move. And it took some time for things to calm down and for vol to start coming in. And for the market to realize, hey, the stock's not going to move too much more. We got a little bit lucky with a couple of them, like FSLR ended up trending up slightly, and that helped us. And in this picture, when we took this, CZR had also trended up slightly, which really helped. The reason I share this with you is because even now, I still see this first thing in the morning and my heart starts racing. I'm like, oh man, okay, here we go. Let's see how much worse things are going to get. But then I just look at each of the positions. I look where the underlying currently is trading and I go, okay, no, we need to calm down. We need to wait for this to come in, and I will give it some time. I do keep a close eye on the price for all of them, because if it just starts trending further out of the money or moving towards out of the money, I might be a little bit more aggressive with the fills. I also tend to have resting orders in that I think are fair value for the tickers. So hopefully I can get hit as the market tries to sort it out. But I try not to just panic close. That's kind of the lesson here, right? If I had rushed to close first thing in the morning, I would have lost $200 instead of equivalently. We made $100 in the end. That's $300 difference in the portfolio, right? So execution is everything with these strategies. You got to figure it out. You got to take your time with stuff, and don't panic to just get out of every trade. You're going to leave a lot of money on the table, and there is no need to do that. There's absolutely no need. So that's the big lesson for today. Try to include that in your thought process for upcoming earnings events. And if you do that, you should be able to extract more of the premium. So with that being said, if you're a PA member right now, let's chat about this upcoming earnings events in the group in the last half hour of the day. If you're not a member of PA, what are you doing? Come on. It's the spot to be. Just once you're done messing around with all that other stuff online, come sling some earnings vol with us. It'll be a lot of fun. And then, of course, we have that ETF strategy too. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Hope that you are having some success this earnings season as well. I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season is going to play out. Happy trading. Talk soon.